Start the Horry County Solid Waste Authority Annual Meeting of Tuesday, June 27th, 2017. We'll call this meeting to order, and we're going to start with our annual reports from the Executive Director.
Thank you. We're on page 140, and you've heard staff talk about each other and the good job that the other ones help them do. And it has, I think, been an excellent year. And I put together a list of things that we've accomplished, and it's based on the divisions, pretty much. And but we'll start out corporate affairs with Esther, and I'll just hit some of the highlights. Number 2, applied for and received $117,302 from DHEC grant. Number 6, hosted Horry County's first tire buyback program. Page 141, public education. Awarded 10 scholarships, and since we started this program, we funded over $116,000 in scholarships to local students. Number 5, completed 17th year of Talking Trash with 131,189 pounds recycled. Number 8, outreach stuff, and met with area HOAs and POAs to increase residential recycling. And 10, conducted meetings with area chambers to encourage waste reduction, hotel, motel, tourist recycling. Unincorporated collection at the bottom of 141. We finally got the McDowell Center started, and like Esther said, hopefully they'll be paving the parking lot next week. Number 5, handled approximately 2,593 additional tons of yard waste and 1,358,000 additional tons of bulk waste, result of Hurricane Matthew. Page 142, Bill. We finished the piggyback expansion, and you've heard how much money we saved when we completed that project. And when we say we finished it, these one-sentence projects that we're talking about, there was days and times and where we bid this thing, and we bid it where the local people could bid, and there's just numerous time went in to just about every one of these line items. And Bill has told you we've sold 1,000 tons of colored mulch. Number 7, a result of Hurricane Matthew, ground additional 28 tons of yard debris in a 6-week period. Took a lot of life off the grinder, and we've did a new grinder, and we're in the process now of finalizing those bids. Received DHEC official certification on the 30-acre East Hill project, the closure. 21 at the bottom, we implemented the tarping program, and I've seen more tarps flapping and covered up than ever before.
Excellent. I'm really excited about that.
I agree. When I come down Highway 90 in different places now, it is great to see tarps on those trucks.
It is.
The other program I wanted to ask about, if I could stop you there, Danny, is how is the enforcement of the yard waste and plastic bags? How has that been coming?
I think it's doing well. When you're riding the back now, you're seeing more and more of the paper bags.
Great.
Now, we've gotten a few complaints about it, but I think between Esther and myself, we've handled and talked the people into understanding what we're doing. Environmental management on top. Number 1, disposed of 125,445 pounds of household hazardous waste. That's a lot of paint, that's a lot of batteries, that's a lot of stuff that you find in your household, under your sink, in your bathroom. And we had started looking at this program prior to Mr. Schwarzkopf coming. So Stephanie's two guys have to work these Saturdays, then they got to be off the following week. We put in more gas wells, so Andy won't be able to take a day off. So this person will be there and be taking material through the week and the Saturdays. That's the way they'll be hired. And there's a lot of material goes through there. Administrative department, and we've assisted 62 people in completing their community service with the drug court. This equated to 1,151 hours of work that we received from these people that's going through drug court. Some it's from an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours, but when you're shorthanded, it's problematic because you got to check them in, check them out. The program downtowns know that we work them and keep up with the records, so that's a lot of free labor that we get. Number 3, we've completed 5 blood drives with 104 pints given by our employees. Finance department, this is one of the one-liners. If you will remember, completed cost of services and rate study with increase approved. How many hours we spent on that and how many meetings we had to sell the program, and I think we gained more than just a rate increase because we gained more elected officials in the cities gained knowledge of what we did, and some of them have become really involved in some of our programs, going to the conventions and stuff like that. Number 3, completed the annual audit with no management letter. People think, well, it's just got another war, but you miss one, and then you're in a bind. And we've seen some of the governmental organizations do that, and then it's a big problem. All the time that you got it didn't mean much, but you miss it. Number 5, presented monthly at the INR committee, which was, that was trying at times. Thank you. Completed the annual audit, no management letter, presented at INR. And Mike, with the Charleston stuff, we took the transportation out of the old contract, negotiated the new contract, and I think we'll come out well on the new contract.
They accept all of the changes that we.
Yes, sir.
Did they accept all of the
Yes,
changes?
sir. They signed, sealed, and delivered, and we're waiting for August 1st.
Good move.
We also monitored the debris contract with the hurricane debris removal. We completed a waste study. We did 2 of them, phase 1 and phase 2, and that's already come in handy on a lot of the reports that we've given based on what's in our trash. And number 10, we requested a no-show inspection, and they came up with some things that we needed to do. We've completed all of those, and one of the issues, they said we need to clean the building up. That was supposed to cost us $100,000, and we did it for 20 in-house with our own people. So these are just parts of the list, and if you have any questions
I have
about any of the
one,
others.
Danny.
Yes,
Did
sir.
you do an after-action report on the hurricane debris removal and how that went?
We have it at this time, and I think the county is still using the group to do some watershed cleanup, and I think when that's finished up, I think we all gonna sit down and take a look.
'Cause what you were describing the Solid Waste Authority's activities to be, I think you went beyond what our role might have been in that. I
Well,
hope that'll be discussed in the
It-
interaction.
it's going to be, somehow or another, we're caught right in the middle of this process, and we've talked to Steve and the county, and we're looking together at rebidding the contracts, but I think it'd be best if the county manages those
I
contracts.
think that makes sense. They have
Yeah.
a relationship with Homeland Security, and we do not. I think that's an activity that
Yeah.
we should shed.
We will be involved because we have the different properties around the county that can be used as a debris site. And we used a property at Green Sea that some of the past board members caught so much grief about buying. It was so far from the beach, but it sure wasn't
came
far
in
from
handy.
Green Sea and the county roads up in that district with this storm. But we will be part of Steve's team when,
As we should be, but I
they bid it.
think some of the work with Homeland Security, I think, is beyond.
and we don't have a problem with that. And I don't think Steve and his group has a problem with managing that situation.
Did we, cover up any, planted crops that went up in Green
No,
Bay?
sir. We did it in the area, if you remember, we did some timbering
Yeah.
on the same side as the fire station. And, that's the area that we utilized. And we actually burned the material there. That was the only site that we burned. We also used the 701 site at the site of the old MRF across from the driver's license office. They ground there, we ground up here, and so it worked out well, and we will still be involved in the debris sites, making them available and being a player as much as they want us to be involved.
And this was Matthew, okay,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
was not the biggest one we've ever seen.
No, sir, but it was a bad, I mean, I rode through Nichols last week and there's three places open that I saw. Hot Spot, the Dollar General, which is new, and City Hall's in an old school now, so I don't think Fair Bluff looks the same. It was bad.
Did you see a battle sign or anything marked battle?
Well, if you know where to look.
I know, you're right, yep. Uh-huh.
That's my report, Mr. Chairman, and we appreciate the support we had this year, and we're looking forward to next year. And we've got a lot of things that we want to continue to do, and with y'all's support, and we get, the Charleston thing is finally coming around to what we thought it was going to be till China stepped in, and so it's been a good year, and thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. I'd just like to say that I would like to thank every employee for the hard work that they've done. I've been to almost all of the recycling centers, and that's a hard, tough, not only physically but emotionally tough job. And I'd like to thank those people for doing that. The supervisors and the directors here, I can't say enough, even for private industry, the work that you've done, the overtime hours and the thought and the respect that you have put into your job, and how you have portrayed the Solid Waste Authority to the organizations, the political bodies, the municipalities, and the county. I am proud of all of you. I do appreciate it. I recognize that this has been an unusual and a hard year for everyone at the Solid Waste Authority. It's been tough. Y'all have done an exemplary job. I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to thank Mr. Knight as the head of this organization for keeping it in line and working toward goals and to accomplishing what you have accomplished, because that is absolutely amazing. I don't know private industries that have worked this well in a long time. You've done an excellent job. I thank you, and I'd like to thank every other person here as well as the board members, because y'all have been here and gone to the meetings and made yourself available, even though it's been a tough thing to do, and a whole lot more meetings than usual. So I would just like to thank you very much for that. And any of the board members or officers that would like to say something, we'd certainly like to hear you.
Madam Chairman, I would just like to echo what you've said. Also, since I'm the new arrival to the board, what I've discovered over the last several months is just how many fields that you need to be specialists in to do this job. And I keep being surprised. Every conference we go to, every staff report we get, and that's why I was concerned about now learning that we even had to take on a role with Homeland Security. It's just amazing how many roles that you have to accomplish to get this job done. And I too would like to commend you on your ability to do that and innovate at the same time. And that's what I'm impressed by, the innovation that come out. You hear Mr. Helling talk about the innovation in the field, but also the things that you've been, especially, you know, the hurricane debris that you couldn't possibly expect, and yet you rose to the occasion and you were able to handle all of the amounts of debris that were delivered. Outstanding. It's been a good year.
Well, we feel like we're pretty quick on our feet.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to say congratulations to Mr. Knight and the staff. You guys have done a terrific job. We are so proud of you and proud to be part of this organization. And let's continue on with this new year starting in July. And again, I am real proud to be associated with you. Thank you.
One of the things I learned in the Marine Corps is a mantra called improvise, adapt, and overcome. And we saw a lot of that here. You all have referred to it, and we were faced with challenges that were could not have been foreseen, but you all got the job done. I really, the staff up here, as you say, both, it's amazing without, in fact, I think Mike referred to it, no, it was Bill referred to it, down in the factory down there. They just come up with different ways. Well, let's do this, let's do that. And that's what makes this organization grow. And you can have kind of a teamwork, esprit de corps. Things bubble up from the bottom instead of top down. A lot gets done. We have a great organization here.
I'll make it short. I just want to say thank you for all that you have done and what you continue to do. You guys do a great job. Thank you.
Ditto what everybody else said.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the staff members, would you like to address the board, give us any thoughts, comments? This is a free time to insult us, come on now. Okay, don't say you weren't asked. Oh, back to old business, ratification of action taken by the board June 2016 through May 2017. We need a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Everything, action that's been taken by the board this past year has been ratified. The new business is election of officers. I guess we need to go through that again, Mr. Thompson.
Okay. What we had decided at the regular board meeting was Chairman, Ms. Creech, Vice Chairman, Mr. Campbell, Secretary, Mr. Thompson, Treasurer, Mr. Ives. I'd put that forward in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or nominations from the floor?
I'd
If
like
not,
to move that we make it by acclamation.
thank you, sir. Everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? That has been moved and voted on. We thank you very much, and we will now adjourn.
Is that it for the year?
That's it, we're done. You don't have to come back.